Hi, my name's Pete Orbea, and I'm with Port Gamble Paranormal and Olympic Property Group here in historic Port Gamble, Washington. And if you've never been here before, most people don't realize Port Gamble is one of Washington State's oldest towns, and it was founded in 1853 by Pope and Talbot, and they opened a sawmill here. The sawmill ran until 1995, so 142 years. It's the longest running sawmill in U.S. history. The town was a booming place in the late 1800s and the early 1900s, all the way until the mill ended up shutting down in 1995. But it seems that some of its residents have never left. And so part of what I do here is not only run the weddings and events business for the town, but at night I get to do ghost walks and special investigations where we're looking for who we call our long-term residents. They seem to be all over the town here, and you can have a lot of different kinds of experiences depending on which place you visit in Port Gamble, and it's a lot of fun here. The history is fascinating. I think the history is what got me into the paranormal, and coming to Port Gamble, it seemed to be a perfect fit. So I really enjoy the history and learning new things all the time about the town and some of its long-term residents. I've had some experiences. Today we're in the Walker Ames house. So the Walker Ames house was built by William Walker and his wife Emma and daughter Maud, and it's a 4-level house, and it was kind of the boss man's house in town. It's one of the biggest places in town. It has ornate decorations and stained glass all over it, and it was finished in 1889. William Walker was the master mechanic for the mill, and everyone, by all accounts, loved this family. William was a musician along with Emma, so they sang and played in the instruments in the church. William Walker also lit off the fireworks on 4th of July from a barge out in the middle of Gamble Bay. And so Maud married Edwin Ames on October 1st, 1889, and Edwin Ames was the town manager at that time. In fact, he's the longest tenured manager for the company. He managed this mill for many years and then went on to manage the entire company and all of the mills for many years until he finished working in 1925, and he later passed, I believe, in 1934. But they all lived in this house together from 1889 to 1900. So that's why it's called the Walker Ames house. And then in 1900, Edwin Ames and Maud decided the style of the Walker Ames was too passé for their taste. So they had a new home built directly in front of the Walker Ames house that overlooked the mill. So it was both houses are pretty fascinating. And so it's an interesting location just to look at. But once you spend some time in here for a while, you may start to experience funny feelings or hear voices, or even maybe you get touched. Very rarely do you see an apparition or something visual in this house, but you hear a lot of things. So there's a lot of audio evidence that can be gathered in this house. I would say my favorite experience in the Walker Ames house specifically was getting close to Christmas time, and I think it was in 2014, and it was getting near Christmas, and in Port Gamble every year in December we do a country Christmas festival. And we turned the Walker Ames house into Santa's workshop on the first floor. So we had everything decorated and a bunch of crafts set out ready for the kids the next day. And so we were investigating, and I was asking, is there anybody who'd like to come make a gingerbread house with me? Come on down, I want to make a craft with you. And several of us in the tour group witnessed a small shadow kind of coming down the stairs really slowly. And then I said, oh, thank you, you came down. We'd love to make a gingerbread house. Come on down. Well, the shadow disappeared, but not a couple seconds later, something ran the whole length of the house above us, on the floor above us, and it ran fast. So me and a couple of other people, we went straight up to the second floor to see if there was somebody up there. And as I was walking the length of the house on the second floor, I got into the master bedroom, and it felt like I ran into a Seahawks offensive lineman. Something just stopped me right in my tracks, and I hit it hard, and then there was 4 boot step sounds that went from in front of me around the corner. That one will always stick out to me because I ran into something I couldn't see, and so I will always remember that one. I think this place has changed my life and turned me from an open skeptic to a believer in the paranormal, and so I always have to try and remember to be skeptical, which is a fun challenge. But this is a great house if you ever get a chance to come out. I do ghost walks basically late September through April every year, and we have an annual ghost conference that's coming up. It's usually in November. This year it's November 8th through 10th, and it's a chance to hear speaking presentations, and you can take a lot of different kinds of classes, and then you can come and investigate many of the locations in Port Gamble at night and practice what you learn in the classes. And we have paranormal investigators and researchers and scientists from all over the place that come and do speaking presentations. So it's a great place to come learn and to be around other people who've had experiences. That's one of the biggest things I've heard from people, is that it's a place that you can come and meet other people who've had similar experiences to you, and you realize maybe you're not totally crazy. This weekend there's a group of people here in Port Gamble looking for the long-term residents and also learning new skills and thinking techniques while learning about different kinds of equipment with Paranormal Boot Camp 101, held by the League of Extrasensory Gentlemen. And they're an excellent group, very professional, very credible, and they're here helping people learn some different ways to investigate and to gather ways to gather evidence, log it, how do you report it, what equipment's great, what's not, and the context of the history of paranormal research, which I think is really important to learn for anybody getting into paranormal research, or maybe you're even a veteran. It's still good to learn all that stuff. So Paranormal Boot Camp has been a lot of fun this weekend so far, and we hope to see him out here again next year, and hope to have him at the Ghost Conference as well.